This is a tutorial for breaking in a football by Catalina football mud. We have a Nike Vapor Elite Texas edition, and we'll go step-by-step process on how to break it in. So the first thing you want to do is get a brush, and you're going to brush off each panel. So what this does is get any debris off the football, brings the red dye if there's dye on the football. Wilson has red dye on the football, so this is a great step to starting off your process of breaking the football in. And as you can see, the football is very tough. It's very new, so you want to make sure everything's clean before you begin your process of breaking it in. So the next step after this will be getting some shaving cream on it to relax the leather. So what the shaving cream does is brings up the red dye and cleans the football out, and also softens the leather panels. So depending on what you use, the best thing is Barbasol shaving cream. Some shaving creams you don't want on the football. So what you do is let that sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Just make sure you get every panel very good. The more the better, but don't want to completely soak it. That looks pretty good. The next step will be just brushing it off. It's an easy process to brush it off. Make sure you get every nook and cranny so the foam is out of the football. And then the next step will be to hydrate a football. So all new footballs are very dry and need some conditioner, something to hydrate the leather. So this is a very important process on the trajectory of where your football will go. So depending on what kind of conditioner you use, it will change the football entirely. So if you like it very dark, it means you're hydrating the leather very well. This depending on the conditioner. Some doesn't make it dark at all, but what it does is makes the leather very soft and very resilient. Some conditioners will help give it a tack to it. So this is a great process before you mud the football. I'll let that sit there for maybe 12 to 24 hours. You really want to give it time for that conditioner to soak into the leather, or else it'll be very slippery. So here our conditioner darkens the leather, gives it a nice hydrating look. So after that, check it out, make sure everything's good, everything's dry. We add some mud to it. So this is another important process of breaking in a football. Some people are religious about mud, some people prefer not to mud their footballs. And I'll tell you why it's a good idea. It just depends on the type of mud that you get. You don't want to use your backyard mud. You don't want to use anything very sandy. So I hear about people standing their football. You don't want to do that because you have a new football with nice pronounced pebbles on the football. When you sand the football, you wear out the leather, you wear out the pebbles. Now if you prefer that, if you want to age your football that way, maybe don't care, go for it. But you want something soft, you want something to spread very easily on the football, and that soaks into the leather very well. So what the mud does is basically just naturally gives it a good texture to it. It will, depending on the mud, it will darken the ball. And ours is odorless, so some muds, especially if you get out like a riverbank or something, it's going to be very, it's going to stink. It's going to have a strong odor to it. So it could be, fish guts to a lot of organic matter, or it could be toxic, waste, it could be a lot of things. So, depending on how you prefer to mud it, but Ours is very organic. There's no odor to it. So, I really take the football as, part of yourself. It's from, a cow. So you want to make sure that whatever you put your hands on is, clean and organic. So what our mud does is it easily spreads onto the ball, darkens it. It seeps into the letter pores, then just gives it a nice natural texture to it. And ours is not gonna take forever to get off. And for us, it's just an easier process for us to break in footballs when you don't have to brush it off. So it takes a long time to break in a football. So we're trying to make it as efficient as possible. So make sure that you spread it on. So what I did, I went to go add some water to it because our mud was kind of drier than I liked. So make sure the ball spreads very well. And I would let it sit for maybe a day. The longer the better, but not too long. Like, you don't need more than a day to brush off the ball. So that's what it looks like after it's ready to go. You can see that the mud really soaked into the ball, and there's not a lot on the surface to brush off. So that's exactly what we want. And then we'll begin our process of brushing it off. So I prefer to get, just a regular brush and just brush off the top panels first. Just to start off, just to make sure everything is looking good. Right here you can see we have a little bit more sand than I'd like. I didn't filter my mud, but usually it comes off a little bit faster. So as you can see, it's not too bad, but I just don't like sand. So brush off every panel the same way. Just be careful on the foils, the logos and all that. With the Wilson ones, it's a little bit more sensitive. So you just want to be careful. If you love to keep those looking good, just go around them. And, be careful with the stripes and the laces. So usually the laces are, either rope or composite. It won't be too bad. But the white stripes, if it's painted on, you can easily damage it by tearing off the paint. But there's some ones that are composite like this one that won't be affected too much. Just if you prefer to keep the laces and the stripes clean, I would prefer paint tape. Just paint some paint strips on it to keep it protected. This one's a personal football, so I don't mind the dirtiness to it. I can use Windex to wipe off the excess mud on the paint and the stripes and stuff like that, the laces. So it took about 6 minutes. Usually it takes about 5 to 8 minutes just for one ball. Some muds take a little bit longer. If you have more sandy, it takes a little bit less. But after that, I like to use a soft bristle. You can use a regular soft bristle brush, or you can use a drill gun like I do. What that does, it gets it nice and polishy. You bring all the leather hairs up, and that creates a nice sheen to the ball. It gets all the little cranny, soil off the ball, anything else off the ball. So that's a quick little process that we did. As you can see here, it's nice dark sheen to it. Depending on how you like your football is like how you like your brisket. Everyone has their preferences, but just wanted to throw a quick video out. And as you can see here, this is what it looked like before. You can see nice new ball. Looks very tough. Probably be hard to catch. And this is the after. So if you like this video, let us know and give us a thumbs up. We'll create more videos. Maybe we'll do a NFL ball and mix it up a little bit, and maybe just try some new products. Change it up, but we love this. We love what we do and hope you like it. Thanks.